A new day, a new map report. Hello to all of you from the daily map report prepared by the Pioneer team. In a moment, we will analyze the latest developments in Russia-Ukraine war with a map. Today, the events and the remarkable front line will also be on our agenda. The front line is the Kherson front line. As you may remember, Ukrainian forces recently carried out a very critical operation on the Kherson front line, and during these operations, Ukrainian positions deepened even more. The village named Poima also come under the control of the Ukrainian army during this operation. According to the latest reports, the Ukrainian army intensified its attacks in the region. However, as you can imagine, the front line is not only active in the Kherson region. There is also extraordinary activity on the Zaporizhia front line and the Donetsk front line. While Ukrainian forces are in an attack position on the Zaporizhia front line, Russian forces are in an attack position on the Donetsk front line. So what is the latest situation in the region? Let's take a look at the developments together. As the Pioneer, we continue to convey the Russia-Ukraine war to you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. You can also support me and my team by using the super thanks button below the videos. Let's start if you're ready, the Pioneer reports. As we mentioned at the beginning of our report, there is a new movement on the Kherson front line. Therefore, we will start by analyzing the latest developments on the Kherson front line. First, let's open the Kherson front line on the map. As you know, Ukrainian Naval Special Forces recently carried out a critical attack, and during this attack, Ukrainian forces crossed to the east bank of the Dnieper River. The village of the Poima is in the region also came under the control of the Ukrainian troops with a sudden raid. Recent reports indicate that the Ukrainian army, especially Ukrainian artillery, has increased its offensive along the Kherson front line. In fact, since the village of the Poima came under the control of the Ukrainian army has not attempted a large-scale advance. There are only intense artillery attacks. However, even this situation makes it clear that the Ukrainian army will soon increase the intensity of its attack. There are also occasional clashes between the infantry units of the two armies. According to the latest reports, clashes between Ukrainian and Russian troops have been intensified in Peshekonovka and Kherson. However, we can say that there are mutual engagement shots. There is no progress. Let us also mention the artillery activity in the region. According to the latest reports, Russian troops targeted Ukrainian positions in Antoniivka, Sadovy, Lviv, Olhivka, Odradokomenka, and Berslivka. Ukrainian artillery targeted Russian positions in Alyoshki, Podospotnoy, Kasonka camps, Krasnovka, Neproyani, Nova, Kakhovka, and Kakhovka. Now we continue our report by analyzing the latest developments on the Zaporizhia front line. Let's start by looking at the Robody sector of the Zaporizhia front line. As you know, since the first day of the Ukrainian army's counterattack, its most important progress has been in this region. The Ukrainian army's pressure is still continuing in this region. Ukrainian troops continue their attacks at many points. Let's start by looking at the mobility that started in Kopani region. As you know, the Ukrainian army had intense pressure in this region. This pressure continues to a great extent. Ukrainian troops are carrying out an intense attacks in this region. These attacks are supported by attacks in the direction of Novoprokopivka. We also see that the Ukrainian troops have started to mobilize around Novofedorovka. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian troops have launched an offensive west of Novofedorovka. It is reported that the Ukrainian troops are advancing during these attacks. According to information from local sources, only 6 kilometers remain between the Ukrainian army and Novofedorovka. Ukrainian artillery units in the region are quite active. Russian positions are constantly being hit. I think that the Ukrainian army may make radical gains in Novofedorovka region in the coming days. However, of course, it's necessary to follow the process carefully. It is too early to speak with certain judgments. Another striking point is the verb of direction. As you may remember, this was the area where the Ukrainian army broke through the first stages of the Russian defense line. Ukrainian troops are trying to advance further thanks to the advantages that they have gained in the region. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian troops are trying to advance to the hills northwest of Verbov. If Ukrainian troops can advance to this region, they will surround the Russian troops from behind. This is the most dangerous scenario for the Russian armed forces. Let's talk about artillery activity in the region. According to the latest reports, Russian artillery struck Ukrainian units in the vicinity of Malaya, Tokmakta, Robodny, and Vasiliivka. Ukrainian artillery hit Russian troops stations in the direction of Verbov, Novofedorivka, Novopokrovivka, Kopani, and Novopokrovka. Now we continue by analyzing the latest developments in the Wuholdar section of the Zaporizhia front line. As you know, we have shared with you in our previous reports. Until our previous report, a great decreases in the mobility was observed in this region. According to the latest reports, mobility has resumed in this region. Let's take a look now. Kherson and Stromayorsk are still under the control of the Ukrainian army, although the Russian army made an intensive effort to recapture these regions. It could not achieve any results. The Ukrainian defense line in the region is still strong. Russian attacks on the region are successfully repelled by the Ukrainian defense line. In the Priorny direction, we see the steady attacks of the Russian troops. Despite this stability, Russian troops have not yet achieved any radical gains. Ukrainian troops in the region continue to repel the attacks of the Russian troops. According to the latest reports, there is no change in the demarcation line between the two armies. Let's talk about the artillery activity in the region. According to the latest reports, Russian artillery units hit Kherson and Stromayorsk. Ukrainian artillery, on the other hand, targeted Russian troops stations in the vicinity of Zaporizhia, Priorny, and Novodonetsk. Let's continue with the Donetsk front line. As you know, the activity of the Russian army in the region has increased considerably in recent days. This activity is still continuing. Russian troops are trying to advance in many regions, especially Avdiivka. However, no results have been obtained so far. Russian troops are also continuing their traditional Marinka attacks. Ukrainian troops seems to have allowed the Russian troops to attack at some point. Some experts claim that this is a tactic. Ukrainian troops want Russian troops to advance in a thin line. In this way, it is claimed that Ukrainian troops will launch an attack on the Donetsk city center. What do you think? Do you think Ukrainian forces will increase their offensive around the Kherson region? How do you assess Ukrainian activities in the region? What will be the results of the Ukrainian army deepening the front line? Do you think Russian troops will be able to stop the Ukrainian army's advance in the region? Let me know in the comments. I read and care about all your comments.